Good afternoon. This is Ask Alice Wednesday. We missed last week for the Christmas holiday, but we are back and at it. And we have Marjorie Whitson, my 10-year-old daughter, here with us today. She's going to help us with Ask Alice Wednesday in what is now going to be called Alice's Corner, because this is the corner that we've made, and next week you'll see something different because we'll have a picture up. But we are continuing on with our renovations, and this is part of it. So Marjorie, I'm going to ask you a question first, and then I know you had a question that you were going to ask me.
Okay.
So my question for you today is, what was the first inventory that you did with Brown O'Haver?
My first inventory that I did was that I went to this house that had a water claim, and there was a lot of mold everywhere inside the house, and like especially in like corners where there are like paintings and like books and stuff. And I took pictures of like everything from front to back, and there was a lot of things that got ruined from the water. Well, ruined. And
Did you get makes and models and things like that?
yes.
So one thing that Marjorie brings up here that's an interesting point, which is not today's Ask Alice question, but it's an interesting point, is she talked about mold. And mold is actually not typically covered by insurance policies. They're either excluded or it will be a very small limit. So when we did this gentleman's inventory that Marjorie helped at, where she took the pictures, we actually were able to get him paid under the fact that it was water damaged. Mold was a consequence of the water damage, but that's not why the insurance company was paying. The insurance company was paying because it was damaged by water. If we would have said it was mold damage, they would have said that it was not included. And so we just made sure to state that it was the water damage, which was what the actual damage was. But when Marjorie did the pictures, what she did is she took pictures of everything, front, back, bottom, top, including the makes and models, so that we could get the most accurate price for every item in order for the insured to be paid. And in this particular instance, I think we were able to get him another $30,000 based on having this additional information. So Marjorie did a great job on that. She's started her first inventory about the same age that I did when I started mine. So what question do you have for me, Marjorie?
Okay, so I was going to ask you, let's say you have a fence in your backyard, okay? And it was like pretty close to the house. And the fence caught on fire. And you didn't catch the fire soon enough, so the fire was traveling towards your house and basically ruined about like one room or a part of your house. Like, since only the fence started the fire, do you only get like you look at the fence, or do you like look at the entire like part of where the fire started?
So basically, does the insurance company only pay for the fence, or will they pay for the damages that also occurred to the house if the fence was set on fire?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what Marjorie's asking here is, it's interesting how children can understand that there's so many different pieces to insurance claims. But one of the things here is that kind of goes into two different areas. One is whether or not other structures is covered or not, and how does that work? So the first piece to that is that, will the fence that was damaged by fire be covered by the insurance company? Well, the first answer to that question is that you need to check your policy, because you do have what's called an other structure provision of the policy. You have structure, additional living expenses, and contents is the typical three main coverages, but you also have another coverage which is called other structures. Usually you have a default amount for your other structures, which is about 10% of what your structure limit is. So if you have a $500,000 house, $500,000 coverage, $500,000, then you typically have $50,000 in other structures. You want to look at that, especially if you have a lot of things in the backyard. Pergolas, swimming pools is one thing that's very expensive. Sheds, fences, those things add up. And so if you think that you have more than 10% of your coverage for your house, you're going to want to make sure that you ask for additional amounts of insurance, especially if you have a pool. So that's the first thing, that you are covered if you do have other structures covered, and if it is the amount of what your damages are. So that would be the first part of the fence. The second part is, yes, the insurance company does have to pay for the damages that it comes to your house as well, to both your house and also to your contents. So if your house is damaged, it started on the fire and it comes to the house and it gets on the inside, the insurance company does have to pay for the damages that occurs to the house. That being said, they only have to pay for the damage that actually occurred. So if there's only smoke damage in a room, then all they have to do is get it back to what it was before. So if it was smoke damage, then all you would have to do is remove some drywall, take out some insulation, put the drywall back up and paint it. That would be what the insurance company would have to pay for. They don't have to pay to completely replace your house if there's only some smoke damage. So hopefully that answers your question today, Marjorie.
Okay.
We appreciate you coming today and for being a part of Ask Alice Wednesday. We are all, without even asking, we are all wearing purple, and then we have this beautiful purple plant in the middle. Please let us know if you have any questions as well. Add it to the comments, and we'll do it next week and on Ask Alice Wednesday. Thank you.